Hey, welcome to Keep Your Head Up Hockey. I'm your host, Jamie Young, and it's round two. Ding, ding. Let's bring it on. We've got a big game tonight, Toronto and in Boston. And boy, oh boy, I got to say, Boston handed it to us. We got licked the first game, and we'll see what round two will bring. But Keep Your Head Up Hockey's here to bring it to you for your pregame. We got Coach Nose and J Dog in the house. What's going on, boys? Core four, big old shout out to you guys. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for tuning in to our pregame hockey shows as well as our normal show weekly. But Dylan, let's hear it from you first. What are your thoughts about round one? Wasn't it ugly?
Hey, we set the tone. That's what we set out to do, was to get out there, crash, and bang. Wasn't anything like we predicted scoring-wise. I mean, listen, what happened? The fourth line got all the goals. 4.5% of the salary scored the goals for the Leafs. That's not great, but we didn't let Boston push us around, and I'm happy about that. We outshot them. I think we outplayed them for the most part. We had a few bad luck chances, man. Couple posts. Boston hits the post a couple times. We hit the post a couple times. That goes either way. The one thing that really pissed me off about this game and this team, though, was the 4-on-3. The 4-on-3, it's got to go on the back of the net. When you have that much firepower and that much money in your offense, there's no question that is a huge failure for this team, is to not score on that 4-on-3, and that would have turned the tide of this game and probably would have kept them in it a little bit longer. But I like the fight. I love the dog fight. I love the grittiness. I love the rough stuff, and the little love tap on Marchand's wrist. God, did he ever deserve that? That felt good. Overall, I felt good about the game. Obviously, we didn't like the outcome, but hey, Leaf Nation, chill the fuck out, man. It's game one. Don't worry about it. Let's go, boys. We got this. All right? Let's go. We got to manifest it. Manifest some puck luck. Let the hockey gods praise us with their infinite power. And we're going to get the puck in the net tonight. Even without Nylander and McMahon, we're going to get it done. I'm confident, boys. Let's go.
All right, J Dog, what do you think about round one, Boston versus Toronto in Boston?
Well, I think obviously a lot of names that were just discussed were obviously an issue. Not having those two in the lineup made a big difference. As far as man, I think he's a little grinder. He probably would have been another guy, another point or two. And as far as the physicality is concerned, it started off right off the hop with Domi and the Rat giving each other a little slap around, and which I thought was pretty cool. And Domi was letting them know that this isn't going to be a pushover. I like the way it started. I like the way that the grit was there. When it came to the big hits, Toronto was definitely pounding it out. The only thing is they didn't dictate the play physically. It was like they were, yes, the big hits were there, but just the constant grinding. I think they had they didn't have the edge there at all. Boston was every finish, every check was finished. Every time that there was a puck that Leaf was on it, there was a hit. It was followed through on. It was, and then it was on to the next one, and it was every line was doing it. I was actually quite surprised that all four lines from Boston were actually playing fairly physical. Even Pasta not Pasta. Marchand got a couple of good hits in. Pasta didn't shy away from much, but it was again, like I said the other night. I think it's gonna come to the goal. Swayman was just so relaxed. He didn't show any type of problem with when it came to knowing that he played like the team played like shit for for the last 6 or 7 games of the season. They got one win, I think it was. So it's that you're missing some firepower in the Leafs, and they were missing physicality. I think even though that they were still playing physical, Boston didn't push them around. I just found that they played a more physical game throughout the whole game. And it needs to happen with the Leafs and the big line with all the big bucks that Don was talking about. They got to start physical too.
You know what, Ryan? I agree with you 1,000,000%, and I appreciate your comment. These guys are crazy. in their thought that we even had a chance in that hockey game. I'm telling you right now, we got outplayed from the get-go, and these guys are nuts in thinking that we even had a chance to that. We got absolutely fucking dominated and embarrassed. And you know what? I'm pissed off to say that because you know what? This is a long time coming, and this core four has been brought to think that, you know, we even have a chance. And right now, it looks like we're going to get knocked out in the first four. It's absolutely ridiculous the way that they fucking played last night. They absolutely ridiculous. The one fucking problem, I'll tell you right now, that this team has is clearing the fucking front of the net. This team has a great goaltender in the 900 percentile in save percentage, but he couldn't see a fucking shot, boys. That was the main problem of the whole game, was that we couldn't clear our own fucking in front of our net. Like, clear the front of the net. We have some huge defensemen. Give them the 2x4 in the back. We're playing playoff hockey. Don't let them sit in front of the net and screen our goaltender. Are you freaking crazy? Boys, these guys didn't have a chance from the get-go. If we can't clear to the front of our net, how is our goaltender going to be even able to stop a save? Samsonov played great in that game in the shots that he could see. He stopped every single one, but the ones he couldn't is mainly because the defense couldn't clear the front of the net. It is sickening. And when it comes to push and shove in that game, Boston had our number. They really did. Tonight, what I want to see is I want to see some fisticuffs. I want to see the gloves drop. I want to see Reeves go right after Marchand, even if he gets the 2 minutes for dropping his gloves and Marchand just scurrying away. I want it to happen tonight. You know what? Right in the start of the game, I don't care if it gives them a 2-minute power play. I really don't care. I want the boys to show that they care, that they have heart for this team, that they have passion, determination, and really some grit to win this game. I'm going to throw it over to Winnipeg. Winnipeg shows some grit, determination, passion in their win 7-6. This fucking team didn't. I'm sick and tired of being a Leaf fan in every single fucking offseason for the last 10 years. We make the playoffs and we shit the bed in the first season. I am disappointed on Saturday. Extremely disappointed with our play. It was a boring fucking hockey game. You know why? It's because Boston dominated the play. We didn't have nothing, boys. Had nothing to give, had nothing to show. And you know what? I hope that Mr. Willie Nylander can show up and play some hockey tonight, and maybe we can free some Willie, because I tell you right now, man, we need something. We really do. But he's not dressed. He's not supposed to show up tonight. A little bit of free Willie, boys. We need some Willie. You know,
get your Willies out
to go.
Get your Willies
really
here.
Need something, man.
Jamie, you need to bottle that energy. You need to bottle that energy and
no, I don't. Over there. Bottle the energy.
Jamie Young smelling salts on the bench. You gotta
exactly. They need something.
You need to fart a little test tube and put it on the bench, and every time they're sucking shit out there, you just give them a little whiff of that. Get out on the ice. Let's go, boys. Come on. I like how our buddy Ryan McLean commented in here. I want to show you guys a little something. I'm trying to manifest some good stuff here. I know you want to be negative and complain and bitch and moan, and that's
being honest, bro. Honest.
I get it. I love the realism, but we got to manifest some goodness. And I brought a little something out of the old.
All right, let me give you the full screen, brother. Give me a second here.
Yeah, there we go.
Screen. There we go.
I got this guy. This guy right here. That's yours truly, right in the middle. Full face paint. Loving life. There's Ryan McLean up in the corner there. Where is he? Right here. This guy. And another buddy, Joe. And that's you see the Corral Center there? You remember that place? Yeah. So this is from the Ottawa Sun in the newspaper, in the sports section, full color. We got a full page, our photo in the Sun. It was pretty awesome. And that's good old Donald Trump right there. Remember him? He had a show called The Apprentice back in the day, and he was always firing people. So we made this little sign called
You're fired.
You're fired, Jacques Montaigne. And you know what? If the Boston Bruins, you know what? He got fired that summer, actually, which was hilarious. And I think it was largely partly due to that sign. So you're welcome, Ottawa. We did you a favor there by smoking you. We weren't even supposed to be in that series. So you know what? The you're fired is going to go to Keefe or Shanahan or somebody is getting fired because if the Leafs don't do something tonight. Can you fire a coach in the playoffs? Has that ever happened? Maybe that happens this year. What do you think, Jay?
You never know. J-Dog, what do you think about those comments there, buddy? What do you got to say?
Well, I was trying to be positive. I said what you said, basically. They didn't show consistent throughout the game. Like they threw some big hits. Yeah, they got a little feisty. They weren't thrown around by any means, but they definitely didn't carry the play. That's for sure. And again, I think that Miss Nylander and McMahon are is a big deal. I think that's a lot of their offense. There's the grinding on Bobby, and then obviously the skill level of Nylander and the scoring prowess. Yeah, I think that this is. I don't know if he was sitting. This is my personal opinion. I don't know that he was sitting because he was hurt. I know he was injured in the New Jersey game. I don't know that he was actually injured.
Nylander? Are you talking Nylander?
Yeah, they said he was.
He might just be benched.
Well, that's. I think that's why they kept everything on the hush hush. I think it was a little bit of both, and that's why they said he wasn't playing as well because he came out in the morning and you didn't see it in the afternoon. The morning after the when the playoffs started, it was in the morning of, and you didn't hear anything else. So I kind of think that there was some. You look at his attitude in the last little while. He's pissed off. He's not playing well. He's like you look at the coaches talking to him, and as far as I'm concerned, the coaches lost the room. The coach lost the room halfway through the year. You got a ton of talent on this team. They're going to win goals, so you can't give him the credit of being having a 900% win column or whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. The win percentage isn't because of him. It's because of the talent that he has on the team. They're going to score 5 and 6 goals a game because of the talent they have. It has zero to do with the coaching. I don't think that he's a good coach. I think that he's a good coach in minors. I don't think he's a good coach in the NHL. If John Tortorella was coaching this team, they'd have a Stanley Cup by the end of the season.
Yep.
Nylander's bench with I got it here. I got the latest on Nylander. Apparently the injury is a bruised ego, and that's why he's sitting on the bench. They won't say anything in the media because, the Toronto media will just bury the poor sensitive guy.
Well, I'll throw it up on the screen.
Sit anyway.
I'll throw it up on the screen because Ryan McLean said it best. His vagine is sore. That's what he said. And Ryan, I gotta agree with you. This guy has got the biggest vagine in the whole NHL
league.
Man, come on now. I'm sorry. You just got paid huge. It's time to shine. When we're talking about guys back in the 80s, the 70s, even the last year, guys would play with broken ribs, freaking collapsed lungs, broken legs, and he's got a sore back or a sore neck. Like, oh no, I'm not going to play tonight because I'm not feeling my best. Suck it up, dude. This is what you make $11.5 million a year to fucking do. Seriously, I'm sick and tired of these freaking snowflake players not showing up and going to work. This is your job.
Take an Advil or two.
Yep.
Whatever. They've got the best.
These guys. And to be honest, if he's going to be a snowflake and just not be that type of guy, then yeah, you know what? Keefe might have made a really good decision and bench the guy for the rest of the year and then trade him in the offseason because seriously, I don't want him on my team if he's not going to come and show and play like the last 5 or 6 games that he's played in the regular season. Absolutely fucking pathetic, to be honest.
I hope he
shuts
us
telling you right now.
I hope he shuts us all
right now.
up.
I think
shut us up, Nylander.
But I'm telling you right now, shut us up. Bring it. But J-Dog made a great comment. If Torts was coaching this hockey team, he'd have a Stanley Cup trophy at the end of the year, because that's what this team needs, is some toughness in that dressing room. And Keith's like your best friend, be like, oh, I'll take you out for a beer, even though we lost 20-3. He's not that type of guy that's going to push this team. I'm sick and tired of his stupid ass comments after the game, making stupid ass excuses. This is the team to win the cup this year. And if they push them the right way, maybe we can get it done. But I don't know. I don't know if they have the actual staff to do so. Dylan, what do you got to say?
Yeah, Sheldon Keith's always like, well, I really thought that the guys responded well after, Matthews was, it's like, shut the fuck, man. Where's your energy, buddy? Is that the kind of energy you walk into the room with when you're trying to get the boys fired up? Like, I watch videos of like Torts and who's the other couple other coaches there, that the videos that come out years later, and they're just screaming at guys. The Rangers coach, what was his name? Who was that? What's his name? Laviolette. Oh yeah. And that guy is like a pretty even keel guy, but he knows how to get fired up. Keith needs to fire these guys up. I think another good coach. Who's that?
Berube would be another good coach for them.
Berube. I mean, the list goes on and on, but I mean, the thing about it is Keith's got the numbers behind him, because he's one of the winningest coaches in the regular season. Terrible postseason. What does that tell you about a guy, right? I really think with this team, here's the thing: you got to tinker with the lineup. Talk about Keith. Talk about coaching. He's got Robertson in there. He needs to stay in there. Move him up to the second line. Why is Nyes on the second line right now? Robertson's got more experience than Nyes. Throw him up there. See what he can do, because he's showing that every game he's been put into the mix, he's getting points. He's putting numbers up on the boards. He's creating plays. He's making chances. And for God's sakes, throw Giordano in the mix too. Why not? He's tough. He's feisty. He's a leader. Who are you going to take out? Maybe like you guys don't think Liljegren, but I think Liljegren's the odd man out. And you throw Giordano in there. And you add a little bit more toughness, like you said, Jamie, in front of that net. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah. Well,
there's a lineup for tonight.
I think that the lineup that it is right there is all right. I don't mind that. As far as I'll be honest, I watched the way the Leafs played without Riley. I think they should take Riley for a game and throw in Giordano. I wouldn't have it set this way. I would have Edmondson and Giordano together, but and then Liljegren with Lyubushkin, because Liljegren can skate. Lyubushkin's kind of a stay-at-home defenseman, and that way you have a physical player on each. McCabe and Benoit are both physical together, but anyway, as far as it comes down to coaching. This guy ain't get it done. He's not gonna get it done. I think that. It's if they don't win tonight, it's done. It's done. I don't think it'll be 4 straight, but I definitely think if they don't win one in Boston, that they're done. And the physicality has to be there. It has to be. The coach has to shit on them in front of everybody, embarrass the fuck out of them, is what needs to happen, and he won't do it. So if I was the assistant coach, I would do it. Something's got to be done. Somebody's got to say something, and I think maybe fucking Domi's dad come down to the stands and start smacking them around with a bottle of fucking, I don't know, friggin' Powerade or whatever he drinking, and let them know, you got to show some heart. But the biggest right now, the biggest letdowns that I've seen is Nas and Marner. They're giving up the puck like crazy. Nyes is not playing the way he had been to get where he is. He didn't deserve to be in the lineup right now. McMahon does, and I think they're wrong by what they're doing. And I give a shit how bad Willie's played in the regular season. You don't sit a $10 million dude in the fucking first game of the playoffs. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, you know what? The only thing that I would do is I would actually pull up Marner from the back, from the second line, and and I'd throw him down to the third, and I'd pull up Yenrock onto the second line. I think we need more toughness on that second line. Marner hasn't showed up yet in the playoffs in the last few years. That's a big change I would make. I'd still leave him on the line with Matthews for the power play. I just still think that they can kind of click on the power play, but he hasn't shown up in 5-on-5 hockey yet. I think that'd be a really good change. If nobody likes that, I would even bring up Reeves from the back end and bring him up to the second line. Like we need some more toughness. Now Reeves has got to step up tonight, boys and girls. He really does. He's got to show his worth. He's a tough guy and really can bring it. I think that he has to fight tonight. Whether, like I said earlier, Marchand skates away after he drops the gloves, he's got to.
It's not going to be with Marchand. You're dreaming. You're dreaming if he's going to fight
because he's a pussy. I know.
Marchand it's not even a fight. It's not even
that's a Domi situation. That's a couple of lightweights going on.
Well, somebody's got.
You got to go pound for pound.
Sure, but
that's got piece of shit.
You want your best players, your best physical players, laying out Marchand physically. You want to make them scared so that their head's on a swivel when they're in the offensive zone. You don't even want them going in the offensive zone. You meet them at center ice and not let them get past you at that point. You got to clog up the middle. You got to go back to the old style hockey. You clog up the middle like New Jersey used to do, and not let them in the zone because these guys can snipe and if they're going to come cycle the puck. They're physical. You got to take that shit away from them. The only way you do that is not let them in the zone. So the whole game needs to be played in from center ice into Boston. And the more that they're in your zone, obviously, just like any other game, the more chance they have to score. But this team, they don't need a lot of time in your zone. So the less time they're in there, the better.
I wanted to set this up for Dylan to take over here, but man, this guy had a hell of a year. Matthews didn't get on the board the first game. He's searching for his 70th of the year. We've got to get this guy the fucking puck. We've got to get him hyped up. He was. I thought he played great. He has a million chances on net. He hit the post, once or twice?
Twice.
In the first game. He played great. He really did. I'm not putting it that he didn't try. He's the heart and soul of this team. We've just got to get him that number one. We got to give him that 70th goal of the year because he deserved it in the last two games of the season. And we'll get him that 70th to get him over the hump. And I think that after we do that, the sky's the limit for this playoff team. But we got to do it now. We can't go down another game. What do you got to say about that, Dylan?
I have no complaints about Matthews' game. I don't really have any complaints about any individual effort. I think we got rid of some of the problematic players on this team, and they're sitting in the press box for a reason, like Brody. And I don't want to say Nylander, but he was problematic. Like he had been an issue. We're still losing without him. I mean, you can't really take Riley out of the lineup, even though we had such a great record without him.
I think you can.
Well, we got some haters in the group here. We got a
go down. Yeah. Maybe we can go to maybe you throw Gregor in there for some speed. I don't know. Like we've got options. I think it's up to Keefe to utilize what he's got and throw Robertson on the power play at least once or twice. Like for Christ's sake, man, you gotta sit that power play down. You can't let a 4-on-3 not even generate a shot. I mean, maybe 2 shots on net. Like that's a 4-on-3. You gotta get pucks to the net. I was really pleased with Tavares' game. I wasn't sure how he was going to show up for the playoffs. I think he skated well. He worked hard. But to your point earlier, J-Dog, about the physicality, this is the thing, is that you want to get out there and hammer guys and make them afraid of going into the corners and going after those loose pucks. You said head on a swivel. Well, that's exactly it. You want to intimidate them out of the corners and make sure that they're not going for the loose change. You're getting the loose change and clearing the front of the net, of course. Like that's just a no-brainer. That's a given. Yeah. And you can't let the fourth line score a goal. You cannot let any of the bottom 6 do anything on this Boston team. That just gives them more fuel to the fire. DeBrusque gets 2 goals. He's fired up. Like, he's a good player, but he got lucky, man. One off the post and in. Like, the puck came right out to him. So I mean,
there were some bad bounces both ways.
I don't even think you blame Samsonov. We haven't even talked about the goaltending yet, but I didn't have any problem with Sammy's game at all. 2-on-1.
The rest of them were good.
And the refs called a clean game. Like, we just.
But I'll say this: the one thing that I noticed throughout the game is that Boston did not allow Toronto to have any time with the puck, especially on the power play. When Toronto was on the power play, those dudes were out at the tops of the circle with zero chance to skate in with the puck and get a shot on net. There was no good shot on net. If it came from out there was 25 feet between the defenseman coming out to the player and what the goalie could see from that defenseman in. There's no room for them to pass the puck. There was no room for them to shoot the puck. They were out there at the top of the circles, and they were out like an umbrella, like they playing the other way around. And they just didn't give them any time. There was no time behind the nets. And when it came in front of the net, there was always somebody from Boston in front of the net, and they were fronting everybody. They were actually, It wasn't even fronting. Fronting's the new style over the last 5 or 7 years. These guys were playing old school, and they were just cross-checking these motherfuckers out of the way. So I think it's got to work at both ends. So the referee, you're going to play the game equally, and I don't think they did in that game. I'll be honest with you. I found, and I'm not being Leafs biased. I really like the attention thing to know who's reffing us. But I actually thought we were going to get a good deal on the refs. I'm not complaining. I just think that they were I am complaining a bit. I think that it was definitely a little more biased. There was some weak calls, and I don't think that it's obviously game changers. It makes the team tired. Even if they don't score, it's still making the team tired because you're down 4 guys. Those 4 guys that are out there, or 8 guys that are out there killing penalties, are getting tired, and it's physical. They're playing against a physical team. It wears them down. Those are small things, but it adds up over a 7-game series.
I like your point, Jay. I mean, I think you're right. I absolutely saw that last night or the other night where the Boston Bruins were just taking away time and space. That was probably talked about in the dressing room. Literally every play, get on them, don't give them space, close the gaps. And that will frustrate a team like the Leafs who likes to move the puck around. So what the Leafs need to do is play with the puck a little bit more, but away from the play. But also, like, I know we get into trouble when we do that because they give up the puck and then it's boom, it's a 2-on-1 the other way, or it's a forced pass. But you got to just play with the puck, pass it around the outside for a bit, wear them down, take advantage of the icings. You need to get the matchups where the guys are tired, because if we get a line on there, if we can throw Matthews line against the tired 3rd or 4th line, it's game over. I mean, Swayman, and you got to wear Swayman out too. You got to keep the puck in the zone. Like, that's a tough gig being a goalie, man. When you're in there and you're crouching and you're side to side and you're up and down for a good 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. I mean, that's when you let the goals in. That's when you can't hold it together mentally, and the puck goes in the net because you can't make those saves. And with a goalie like Swayman, who's just such an unbelievable talent, the only way to beat him is to fatigue him.
Number 1 success of this game, boys. Clear the fucking front of the net. I don't want to see our number 1 goalie not be able to see that puck tonight. If fucking Samsonov can see that puck, he's going to stop it. Number 2, freaking key to the success. Play tough as fucking nails. Play tougher than you ever have all year. This is tonight. If we lose this game, we're out of the playoffs. Like, it's an easy road for Boston. They win one in our building, win one of theirs, they can take the whole thing. So we got to win this game. Play tough as nails, tougher than you've ever been. And 3 is get nasty and get tough. Huge hits, massive hits. Every time we can hit, just do it, period. Do not miss a chance to finish that body check. Number 4, do not dump the puck. A lot of people are saying dump the puck. Don't dump the puck on this team. Carry it. That's our game. Carry the puck over the blue line. Set up plays. Get the puck to your top players like Matthews and even Robertson and guys that are hot. Get the puck to them. Get some great shots on net. And I was going to finish. Shoot the fucking puck. The more shots, the better. It's Swayman, get some traffic in front, lots of shots on net. Go back to the basics, boys, but we got to play with heart and soul. And I felt that was lacking last game, and I want to see it tonight. I really do. I'm pumped up, boys, and you can tell. But we're not going to keep everybody for too much longer. We've only got a half an hour before the game. We'll go final thoughts with J-Dog. What's your final thoughts on tonight?
Well, I think the Leafs need to be obviously more physical throughout the game. It can't stop. It's got to be physical all the way through the game. They have to play 60 minutes. They can't play 6-8 minutes, score 5 goals against this team, because this is a team, if you're not playing all 60 minutes of the game, they're going to score on you on every other minute that you're not playing your best hockey. I think I always talk about the half boards. This team plays the half boards better than any team in the league. And I think that probably the best things you can do is make sure that they have no time to set up, just like they played Boston played in Toronto in the first game. Toronto has to do the same thing. Get up. Never mind the fronting the guys. Yes, one guy needs to be in front of the net at all times, but the other guys need to be out playing the man, not playing blocking the shot. You need to play the man so he doesn't get the puck. You need to be on him. Only like a stick's distance away. You should be moving a stick distance away from anybody and have somebody at all times. And most importantly, when it comes to the defensive end, you can't get running around. Twice the other night, you see 2 of the goals, 2 guys on one guy. That leaves one guy open, right? And that's exactly what happened. And then you also can't.
That's Pee-wee stuff, man. You never have 2 guys.
It's basics. It's basics. There's at least 7 or 8 times in the game where there was 2-3 Leafs on one Boston player, and guy standing in front of the net or a guy coming in. Let that happen. That's minor league hockey.
And I got one more last little thing.
Final thoughts with Coach.
Yeah, real quick.
Thoughts.
Mitch Marner, he needs to be legendary tonight. He's never had a legendary playoff game. How many playoff games can you go back and say, fuck, man, Mitch Marner, 4-point night. What a banger. What a great job. Got in there, made the plays, did the job, got the job done. Never. It's never happened. It needs to happen tonight. Mitch Marner, I'm calling you out. We don't have Nylander. We don't have McMahon. We need you. We need you, Marner. Let's fucking go, baby. Come on. I wish your dad was at the game yelling at you from the glass to get you going, because you need to step it up, bud. Let's go.
My final thoughts, and we'll end the show. This is the passion that unites us all. It's the playoffs. It's the Leafs. And it's Boston. Fuck Boston. Bring it on. Fucking make us proud. Let's go back 1-1 to Scotiabank Arena. Let's do it. Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in to Keep Your Head Up Hockey. If you're here, smash that like button and tell us about how we did tonight. Cheers, boys. Go Leafs, go. Let's get it done.